Okay, Daniel Kerr here, and welcome to part 6 of these tutorials, making a live set on the ESX from scratch. Obviously, I've employed a whole bunch of different tools and things to get this thing going together. I've got my fantastic sample set now. We just finished a drop, and the drop has been put into the sample set, and this is what it sounds like. You know what, that probably sounded distorted because it's all pumped up super loud. The drop, when I put it in here, I want to make sure that it's nice and loud. So what I do is I go to shift and normalize, and I normalize it right off the bat. And then what I want to do is I want to normalize and turn it up to play level, add 12 decibels, which it's set to, and that makes it really loud. So I'm going to turn the level down a little bit just so you can hear it again. This is what it sounds like. Okay, sounds beautiful. What I'm going to work on now is I'm going to work on a live template. So if we go to track 1 or pattern 1, A1, it's a clear pattern. I want to make sure that I'm in 140 BPMs, which is where I want to be. Another thing, I want to write that so that when I go to length, I can take that to 8. It's a full length. One thing that's really annoying about this machine is when you clear a pattern out, it gives you these 4 beats. I don't know, it's kind of like a metronome, built-in metronome or something with the factory sample set, and it ends up giving you some kick drums. We don't need that stuff, so I'm going to clear this part out of there, and this is what I got as a blank slate. Now, my drops and likewise my vocal samples are all going to be in stretch part 1 and 2, okay? Now, if you've ever seen my tutorials on stuttering glitch, then you're going to know exactly what I'm doing here, but what I'm going to do is instead of using one of these guys here and having the envelope generator set to slope with a tail, is I'm going to use the stretch part here instead. So I go to the stretch part, and I'll go here to step edit. What I want to do is I want to be able to put my drop here on stretch part number 1, okay? Which means I'll put it here. In fact, I'll just go and drop it there now. Whoops, went to sample here, part edit. There it is. Okay, thing about this is that I'm going to make a trigger here and on pattern number bar number 3 and bar number 5 and bar number 7. Now, a full 8 bars is 128 16th notes, okay? So what we want to do is I want to be able to mangle this, and every single time it drops, which is every other bar, I want it to snap back to normal and play as if it has not been mangled. So what I need to do is I need to use the motion sequence here, okay? So I'm going to turn that on to smooth. And then over here in step edit, I'm going to scroll down. It says motion destination, no assignment, because no motion stuff has been set here. So if I hold down the shift, I'm going to scroll this until it says start. And what this is that's the motion destination value for each one of these notes, okay? Each one of these notes of the start point of the sample. So obviously here in the first bar, this note here, I'm going to go down one more arrow. It says disable. I'm going to set that one to 0. Okay? Then all of these can stay disabled. Okay? This one's going to be 0. When I get to number 3, this one is going to be 1632. It's going to be set to 32. Okay, the next one is going to be set to 64 on the start of number 5. 64. The next one, 64 plus 32 is 112. then the last one, oh, that is the last one. Okay, so now, no matter what happens, let me give you an example of what's going on here. If I go back up here, I start playing this drop. Okay, I can start stuttering it around with the arpeggiator while messing with the start point. But as soon as it stops, as soon as it passes bar 1, bar 3, bar 5, or bar 7, it will snap back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, watch this again. Okay. I think the last one, number 7, I think this is, that value is supposed to be 96. You can listen to it all the way through and know. Yes, that is correct. Now, all right, now that sounds awesome. It's going to be sweet being able to play that live. So, I got that going on. Okay, the next things I want to be able to do in this same, in the motion sequence values for this same part is I want to be able to, well, right now it's going to start. If I hold down the shift, I can go to the level. The level is good. I think I'll leave the level alone for now until I know exactly what level I want this to be at, okay? The pan, I want the pan to go back to center. You know what, I'm not going to mess with the pan. I don't really modulate that live too much. The envelope generator time. For each one of these values, I want it to be all the way to 127. That way, if I turn the EG time way down to get some short stutters, it'll snap back to long again. Okay, next thing, the amp EG. I don't even care about that right now. The roll, I want the roll to be off no matter what. So we'll go to off, off. Okay. Another thing, the reverse. I want the reverse to set to off as well. Whoops. Off. 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 Now, that is a valuable one. Watch. Yeah, so if I turn the reverse on while I'm stuttering it up, it automatically flips it back forward as soon as it crosses one of these bars. That's a good thing. Next one, let's see, reverse. We got, effect sends, we'll leave that. Effect select, we'll leave that as well. Modulation type, we'll leave that as well, because it doesn't matter which type. But the depth, I want the depth to snap back to the center every single time it passes one of these bars. That way, here I'll show you, I'll demonstrate that. That way, if I've got this set to like the pitch going crazy, for instance, it snaps back to 0. It's good for a pitch with the sample and hold or the random. Watch. That's pretty sweet. Go back up here. Modulation BPM, no, that's fine. All these effects, those are fine too. I want to do the pitch though. Pitch. And I'll scroll that down, and each time it crosses one of these bars. Whoops. Oh, 1 second. Pitch. I want it to be in the center. Now that's good for this. Check it out. There, pitch bounces off. Next thing is the filter. Filter type, I want it to be on low pass no matter what. Actually, you know what? I'll leave that alone too. That's something I might mess with later. But the cutoff, I want the cutoff to go all the way for each one of these bars to 127. Okay, from here, I'm going to write this to A1. And that is my template for the entire thing, okay? Everything else. I'll just lay out exactly how I work, though, just because. I usually put bass drums here on 1 and 2. I put snare drums on 5, sometimes a clap on 4 as well. 3 I use for textures, like video games or anything like that. Closed hi-hats, open hi-hats, generally crashes on 7B. 7A I use for whatever, but in this case I'll probably use it for those hall kick things. Keyboard part 1 and 2. Stretch parts are for vocal samples and for drops, and slice samples are generally for the chopped up break beats. I like to be able to mess with the pitch and the filter and things with the slice samples. So that's how things work, and that is my template that I'll be working with. Come back for part 7, which is going to be basically just an hour of watching me work and not much narration. Hope you can follow along.